Welcome back to another deep dive on The Explainer. So today we're looking at something honestly incredibly urgent. A lot of us think that just earning a good salary is like this magic shield for retirement, right? But as we dive into today's source material, we're going to see exactly why that just isn't true. You could literally be making fantastic money right now, but if you ignore the specific money traps we're analyzing today, that income, it can just slip right through your fingers. We're going to break down the data that exposes exactly why so many people end up empty-handed later in life, and more importantly, we're building a roadmap to make sure that doesn't happen.
I actually want you to pause for a quick second and genuinely ask yourself, are you making at least one of these three money mistakes? And look, don't feel bad if you are, because the reality is nobody actually teaches us how money works in school. We're taught to, memorize historical dates and complex math equations, but we're left totally in the dark about our own personal finances. Usually we only learn about money by losing it. And because of this massive educational blind spot, a staggering 80% of people end up retiring with absolutely nothing. Just let that sink in for a second.
Imagine this. You reach age 60. You've literally worked your entire life, and you're finally ready to just relax, travel, and actually enjoy your golden years. But then you look at your bank account, and it's practically empty. That fear is very, very real for millions of people. So consider this explainer your vital wake-up call, because the incredible news here is that once you identify these traps, you can fix them almost immediately. By taking action on the concepts we're about to explore, you could literally save yourself 10 years of financial struggle and wasted life.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Mistake number 1, the savings trap.
Society completely conditions us to think a basic bank account is totally safe. We think, hey, I'm being responsible, I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to do, right? Well, here's the brutal mathematical reality. Your typical bank gives you maybe a 4% return on your savings. But out in the real world, the true cost of living, the inflation rate, is often sitting anywhere between 7% to 10%. So do you see the massive problem here? Mathematically, by doing the safe thing, your money is actively losing 3% to 6% of its purchasing power every single year. You're basically paying this invisible tax just for leaving your money sitting completely.
Let's look at how this invisible wealth erosion actually plays out in reality. Say you have 10 lakh today, and you just let it sit in a basic savings account. In 10 years, its actual buying power plummets to the equivalent of just 5.5 lakh. It's absolutely devastating. The source material shares this heartbreaking real-world example of an uncle who diligently saved 25 lakh in the bank over 20 long years. He really thought he was building a fortune, but today, because of inflation, he can't even afford to buy a modest house with that money. The money grew numerically, sure, but it completely shrank in actual value. Bottom line, saving money without investing it is just a guaranteed.
So, how do we fix this? How do we move from a guaranteed loss to a concrete solution? Well, we shift gears and use what's called the 3-bucket rule. This is where you actually take total control. Bucket 1, that's your emergency fund. This is strictly 6 months of living expenses kept in a liquid bank account for immediate crises. Nothing more goes in there. Bucket 2 is your growth bucket. You're going to allocate 50% of your remaining capital here into assets like index funds or equity funds that historically outpace inflation. And finally, bucket 3 is the safe bucket. Put the remaining 30% into income funds or bonds for stable, predictable returns. This structure actively shields you from inflation while still keeping you totally secure.
Moving right along to mistake number 2, the rat race.
Now, you've likely felt this exhausting cycle yourself. The paycheck arrives, bills get paid, you do a little bit of lifestyle shopping, and then boom, you're right back to anxiously waiting for the next check. The rat race happens when you spend your whole life working for money, instead of making your money work for you. It's this massive psychological trap. Human beings tend to just spend what's right in front of them because they aren't tracking it. If you don't actively tell your money where to go, it simply vanishes into thin air. And honestly, the scariest part of this cycle, when you're stuck in the rat race, you are exactly one job loss, one company layoff, or one unexpected medical emergency away from total financial.
To break out of that cycle, you really need the 50-30-20 rule. This brilliantly illustrates how you tell your money exactly what to do. You just divide your incoming salary into 3 precise slices. 50% goes strictly to your needs: rent, groceries, utilities, the essential things keeping you alive. 30% goes to your wants: eating out, streaming services, travel, all the things that make life fun. But the real magic? That happens in the final slice. 20% goes directly into investing. This gives your money a crystal clear job description the absolute second it enters your life.
But here is the ultimate pro tip from our source material that makes this actually work in the real world. You absolutely must pay yourself first. Do not wait until the end of the month to see if there's any of that 20% left over to invest. Spoiler alert, there won't be. Instead, automate the 20% investment portion to transfer to your investment accounts the exact moment your salary hits your checking account.
Just set it up with your bank so it happens entirely in the background. The psychology here is literally bulletproof. You simply cannot spend what you don't see.
Brings us to mistake number 3, the single income. Relying on only one boss and one solitary salary to fund your entire existence is frankly incredibly dangerous. There's just extreme fragility in a single income stream compared to the robust 3 to 5 streams that wealthy people intentionally build. I mean, think about it logically for a second. If you only have one income stream and your company decides to downsize and fire you tomorrow, your income doesn't just dip, it instantly drops to absolute zero. You have zero cash flow. But if you have 3 streams of income and you lose one, you still have 2 others holding you up while you figure things out.
How do we fix this one? We start building. The source highlights the 3 easiest side incomes you can launch as we head into 2026. First up is skill income. This is basically freelancing or consulting using the skills you already possess from your day job. Second is investment income. These are the dividends and passive growth from those funds we set up back in the first mistake. And third is digital income. This means building things like digital products or affiliate marketing streams that literally do the heavy lifting for you while you sleep. Now, you definitely don't need to build 5 streams today. The goal is to just start with 2, your day job plus 1 of these side streams.
Let's bring this all together with your 90-day action plan.
Knowing all of this is completely useless unless we actually apply it. So here's your cheat sheet. You don't have to overhaul your entire life overnight, but you do need to start making some strategic moves today. Let's quickly recap our 3 massive solutions. Number 1, transition from blindly saving to strategically investing using the 3-bucket rule so you can actively beat inflation. Number 2, implement the 50-30-20 budget and automate your investments so you pay yourself first and officially escape the rat race. And number 3, commit to building just a second income stream within the next 90 days to protect yourself from the single income trap. Listen, if you commit to fixing just one of these 3 things this month, you are instantly going to be ahead of 90% of the population.
I want to end today's explainer by throwing this right back to you. Which of these 3 mistakes is holding you back right now? Seriously, is it the savings trap, the rat race, or the single income? Be completely honest with yourself because understanding your money is the very first step to mastering your freedom. The clock to age 60 is ticking, so what are you going to do with your next paycheck?